Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News for Thursday, December 11. I'm Carrie Simpson. A special welcome to our viewers on YouTube, TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com. Here's what we have in the bulletin.
Repair work now underway at the 4 hospitals damaged by Hurricane Melissa. Seaports to extend their weekend operating hours. And later in sports, West Indies in awkward position in second test versus New Zealand.
Now the details. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says repair work is now underway at the 4 hospitals that were damaged by Hurricane Melissa in October. The affected facilities include the Black River Hospital, the Savlamar Hospital, the Noel Holmes Hospital, and the Cornwall Regional Hospital. Dr. Tufton made the disclosure while speaking at a Ministry of Health press briefing a short while ago.
The National Health Fund, working with the ministry, has adopted the Government of Jamaica emergency procurement methodology, which has activated repair works at 4 of the main hospitals in the affected health regions. And so we have seen work commenced already in the critical institutions, the Black River Hospital, Savlamar Hospital, Noel Holmes Hospital, and Falmouth Hospitals. More details will be provided on this in the coming weeks. But the important note here is that we now have work that have commenced in earnest to restore these major institutions, and Cornwall had already started, just to be clear, to ensure that missing roofs are replaced.
Discussions are underway between Agriculture Minister Floyd Green and some of the island's butchers over concerns with the National Animal Identification and Traceability NATE system. Speaking on Smile Jamaica this morning, Minister Green said he has already met with 2 of them and promised changes to the system.
What we've done at the ministry is to ramp up our tagging processes. So we just started a blitz, right? And I've said to the ministry team, we have to ensure that if somebody wants their animals to be tagged, despite the fact that it could have been done a long time ago, we have to get to them. Now, we did 300 in St. Elizabeth, and they're going to keep the blitzes going. They're coming to Manchester this week. The butchers made some suggestions about some of the places to go to tag, and also the butchers highlighted some of the challenges in the system and some of the personal challenges that we're going to deal with that, right? So I want to assure the butchers that we've heard you. I've said to the team to make some changes. We will monitor it for another week and see what our numbers look like, and we will continue the dialogue. Yep. We want everybody to have a Merry Christmas, but we also want to stop people who are looking to benefit from the crisis by stealing animals. We can't have that.
The butchers who protested and withdrew their services say delays in obtaining tags since 2015 have affected their ability to serve customers. Now, as the Christmas season approaches, food security remains a major concern for Jamaicans following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The Ministry of Agriculture has ramped up its efforts to ensure food stabilization. Alia Bryant has the details.
Farmers across the island have wasted no time in getting back into the fields following the destruction left by Hurricane Melissa. Speaking on Smile Jamaica this morning, Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green lauded their determination and hard work, saying his ministry is ready to provide all the support possible.
We've procured more seeds, so we're procured another $50 million in seeds. We have another 5,000 bags of fertilizer, and then we're doing targeted interventions. So our yam farmers suffer tremendous, about 70% of our yam crop. So what we're doing now, sending the agriculture management unit to look at soil, because one of the things that we saw with Hurricane Melissa, topography looked completely different, right? I mean, it was the first we were really seeing salt burn. So what is the nutritional regime that our young farmers need, things of that nature?
Minister Green says the ministry has adopted a multi-pronged approach to the National Agriculture Recovery Program.
We're tapping into external sources to have eggs ready for Christmas. Not only eggs, we've said to our bakers that we will allow them to bring in liquid eggs, right? So that will take the pressure off the table eggs so that when consumers go out, they will have eggs. So we're doing that process now and working with our main market, which is the US, to see how we can get that in.
He also says for each area, the ministry has designed a recovery plan.
Just brought in some goats, pigs, thankfully. We have a good population of pigs, good genetics. We're going to have programs around that. We lost about 5,000 pigs. We're going to try and bring that up. We're working with the associations that are in charge and trying to get the farmers as quickly as possible back up.
Aliyah Bryant, TVJ News.
Online learning is not an option. The Sydney Pagan STEM Academy in St. Elizabeth is facing a harsh reality as the administration fight to get students back in the classroom in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. Once again, here's Aliyah Bryant.
Left naked and vulnerable. That's how Sydney Pagan STEM Academy in St. Elizabeth now stands. The campus, still bearing the wounds from Hurricane Barry last year, had begun to find its footing, but Hurricane Melissa swept through, delivering a second merciless blow, damaging majority of the classrooms and potential learning spaces. Milbert Miller is the principal.
Presently, not even data picks up. You have to go at certain areas to get that. And hence the slow response. I sent out a message in the WhatsApp group, and 2 weeks, 3 weeks after, parents are just responding, saying they are just seeing the message. All the residential flats, because we have teachers who travel as far as Manchester, and some are from Westmoreland and Hanover, who has to reside on the school compound in order to provide instructional support. And so these staff members were severely affected. Entire roof has been lost.
Of 800 students, only 100 have turned out for classes, all of them scheduled to sit exams this year.
The only block that was spared is the new block that is slab, and it has 13 classrooms. So those classrooms are presently usable, and we are using that to engage those students who are doing examination this year. And so we have those students coming in. We cannot facilitate any other groups of students at this time because we do not have the space. We have students spread right across the length and breadth of this parish. Some are even from outside of the parish in St. James. And so some students have to be relocated to other parishes. And we are working with the parents now to get them pinned to other institutions for temporary learning.
With the help of donors, the school administration has been able to provide care packages to students unable to attend classes. In the meantime, Mr. Miller is appealing to the authorities for support for the students who are to sit exams.
Technological devices such as tablets, laptops, because some of these got damaged during the hurricane because the roof, fall apart with the labs and so forth. So right now, we are just trying to pick up the pieces and see best to salvage what we can.
Aliyah Bryant, TVJ News.
Energy Minister Darrell Vaz says that due to the impact of Hurricane Melissa and the high volume of relief efforts, seaports will be extending their weekend operating hours. He says the extended hours will continue through December.
The port community system is offering extended Saturday hours from November 15th to December 13th, while Kingston Wharves has lengthened its weekday gate operations to 6 p.m. through to December 23rd, and open its warehouses on November 29th, December 6th, 13th, and 20th. Additional dates. So, as I said, the seaports are responding, and thankfully, we're getting quite a bit of relief supplies coming in through the ports on a weekly basis and being able to move it off as quickly as possible.
Director General of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, Commander Alvin Gale, says the death toll from Hurricane Melissa remains at 45. 13 people are still missing and an additional 32 deaths are under investigation. He was speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing where he provided the latest figures.
These figures underscore the scale of the human impact and the seriousness with which the ministries, departments, and agencies of government continue to approach the recovery effort. As of last evening, 101 emergency shelters remain open across 7 parishes, housing 1,061 persons. Work continues between the MDAs and partners to identify suitable sites for prefabricated housing and other medium-term options, especially in communities where schools are still being used as shelters, so that normal school life can resume.
Meanwhile, Commander Gale says 340,000 food packages have been delivered to hurricane victims in Western Jamaica. Of that number, 98,000 packages were provided by ODPEM.
While the Jamaica Defence Force, in support of the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, just over 242,000 packages to affected households primarily in Western Jamaica. The Food Assistance Working Group, which includes over 30 partners, has enabled the production and delivery of food packages and hot meals to 314,000 persons in some 379 communities. In total, the Food Assistance Working Group has distributed just over 112,000 food kits, affecting 234 lives, while some 3.3 million hot meals have been distributed to approximately 190,000 persons.
Corporate Public Relations Manager at the National Water Commission, Delano Williams, says approximately 63% of the Western Service area has been restored. Speaking on Smile Jamaica, he stressed that the NWC cannot carry out the restoration efforts alone.
Eastern areas, beg your pardon, Kingston, Portland, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Thomas, St. Mary, and sections of St. Anne are now back above 85 to the 90 percentile range. But the western parishes, which remains a big topic, are now trending just about 63%.
Mr. Williams also highlighted the critical role of electricity in the process, noting that power is essential to pump and deliver water across communities.
What we've done is to put in alternate measures. So we just bought some trucks. The government supported us in procuring 12 new trucks. Those will help us to reach some of the areas that will not have power supply and may not have generators, but we have been putting up a number of what we call filling stations or wayside tank systems.
So people have to come and get water?
Yes, but we bring them into some of the communities.
Now, he says that work is ongoing to fully restore the service. It is time for a break here on the Midday News, but stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back. We're continuing the news. It is now time for the Business Minute.
Chairman of the Jamaica Association of Microfinancing, Dr. Blossom O'Mealy Nelson, says identifying members of the micro-enterprise sector remains a major challenge, and she's urging the government to speed up assistance to these small operators. She says the sector is hard to reach because no national database exists to show how many micro-businesses operate or where they are located. Dr. O'Mealy Nelson believes the problem could be solved by offering small entrepreneurs a grant tied to formal registration. She suggested a simple system in which each operator would receive a government-issued card and $5,000 after providing their name, address, and details of their business activity. Further afield, Mexican lawmakers have approved a package of new tariffs impacting hundreds of products, many of which come from China. The measures, which President Claudia Sheinbaum has said are needed to boost domestic production, were passed by the Mexican Senate on Wednesday. The levies are set to take effect on January 1, 2026, and will apply to goods like metals, cars, clothing, and appliances. Dozens of countries that do not have a free trade agreement with Mexico will be affected, including Thailand, India, and Indonesia. The move comes as Mexico is in negotiations with the U.S. over steep import taxes that President Donald Trump has threatened to impose on the country. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Prince Moore.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, the principal magistrate in Guyana, Judy Latchman, has dismissed a motion by opposition leader Azruddin Mohammed and his father challenging their extradition to the U.S. on fraud charges. The court said most issues had already been settled by previous decisions. Now the Mohammeds remain on bail and must report to police regularly. Substantive arguments are set for January 6, 2026, after U.S. indictments for fraud, money laundering, and tax evasion. They deny the allegations. And on the international scene, U.S. forces have seized a sanctioned oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela, marking a sharp escalation in tensions with Caracas. Reports say the move could disrupt Venezuela's already limited oil exports, with other shippers possibly thinking twice before loading crude. Until now, U.S. operations in the area mainly targeted small drug smuggling vessels. This is believed to be the first direct confrontation involving American personnel. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Aliyah Bryant.
Thank you, Alia. Now the Midday Sports package is on the other side of this break, so please stay with us.